What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. 2024 has been an amazing year for JRPGs. Honestly, one of the best that I can remember. So I've made a list of my top 10 JRPGs of the year. I usually give this list as just like a recommendation of 10 JRPGs, but this year I'm ranking them. So be sure to stick around until the end to see my favorite game this year. It was definitely a hard list to make, and if your favorite game is missing here, let me know in the comments below because it may simply be that I just haven't gotten to play it yet. So I would love any and all recommendations from you. So with all that said, let's jump right in. First up, I have Visions of Mana. What a game this was. I do feel like it's one of those games that's kind of flying under the radar for the year. I had so much fun with this one, and it truly is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. The colors pop and everything from the characters to the environments come together in really creative ways. The combat in Visions of Mana is one of my favorite aspects. It takes a fast-paced, real-time action approach, blending hack and slash mechanics with light strategy elements. You can switch between a variety of weapons like, swords and stabs and bows that each come with unique abilities and combos. The magic system is also integral with spells that range from elemental attacks to healing and buffs. The game rewards you for mastering the balance between physical attacks and mana-based abilities, making combat super fun. I will say that in the beginning, it feels very simple and toned down, almost clunky at times, so don't let that deter you because once the combat picks up, it really picks up and it feels really great to play. The heart of Visions of Mana, though, definitely lies in its story. The journey you're on here is not just about saving the world, it's about understanding the complex relationships between people, the mana tree, and the elemental spirits, all of which you'll learn about as you progress through the story. The world building is also quite intricate, each region offering unique cultures and histories. The inclusion of moral dilemmas and branching story paths kept me going in this one, and I really enjoyed my time with it. If you missed out on this game, then please check it out. This is one that would absolutely be a great game to play during the holidays. It's bright, it's colorful, a lot of feel-good elements to it. Give it a go if you haven't yet. Romancing Saga 2 Remake was a huge surprise hit for me. I had never played the original, and when the remake was announced, I was super excited to give it a try. The turn-based mechanics and story both look super interesting, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to give this one a go. I want to take a moment to talk about the combat in Romancing Saga 2 because it is both very intricate and very satisfying. The game's turn-based battles rely on tactical decision-making with a focus on team composition and resource management. This game is actually quite challenging and can test your patience at times, but it's really rewarding once you get the hang of things. The class system is another highlight. You can recruit characters from various classes, each with distinct abilities and combat roles. The remake enhances the system with some more modern refinements. The transition from 2D sprites to fully realized 3D graphics in remakes is nothing short of spectacular. The environments are super detailed, from big cities to like these creepy dungeons. I loved every minute of exploration in this game. Character models are also intricately designed, and the animations are top-notch. I played this game on the PS5 and it looks incredible. The art style really pops, and I think it's honestly one of the better JRPGs to release this year. Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven is honestly a real great example of how a modern remake should be done, blending the best elements of its original with incredible enhancements. Its expansive narrative, deep combat systems, and beautiful visuals make it a must-play for fans of JRPGs. I don't think you should miss out on this one. SMT5 was one of my favorite games in the series when it was released back on the Switch, but Vengeance coming out and fixing basically every issue I had with the game and adding a bunch of great new story content solidifies it as my favorite game in the series. The gameplay in Shin Megami Tensei 5 is where the game has always truly shined. The game places a really strong emphasis on demon negotiation and fusion, which has always been my favorite aspect of these games. Recruiting demons to your team and merging them to create more powerful allies is both incredibly addictive and essential for your progression. I often found myself with a notebook tracking the different fusions and demons abilities I preferred to have in my party. If you allow yourself to get drawn into this mechanic, then this can easily become the entire motivation pushing you forward. This expanded narrative addresses prior criticisms of sparse story moments by offering a new narrative experience that feels both profound and personal. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is almost perfect in its JRPG design, blending a deeply engaging narrative with innovative and deep gameplay. By addressing past shortcomings and pushing the boundaries of the series, Atlas has created a game that not only satisfies fans, but sets a new benchmark for the genre. If you missed out on SMT5 in the past, then please give Vengeance a go this time around. It's available everywhere, and I can confirm the performance is really great on PC. Fantasia Neo Dimension is an incredible throwback to the PS1 era of JRPGs. The father of Final Fantasy has made a modern JRPG that looks and feels like a classic game and makes for honestly one of my favorite games of the year. This was originally released on Apple Arcade, and as someone who genuinely hates playing games on their phone, I'm really happy that I'm able to play this game on a console now because the experience was one that grabbed me instantly and I couldn't put it down. One of the most striking aspects of Fantasia Neo Dimension is its distinctive visual design. The game utilizes these handcrafted dioramas, a bold choice that sets it apart from other games. These dioramas, meticulously crafted by different artists, give the world a tactile, almost tangible quality to them. These backgrounds are not just pretty backdrops, they play an integral role in conveying the atmosphere of the game's world. The intricate details in every setting adds this layer of personality to the environments and invites you to explore every corner. The handcrafted visual approach reminds me of the backdrops used in a lot of the PS1 games I loved as a kid, and I really think it would be cool to see a lot more PS1 games remade in this format. I can't go without mentioning the combat though. In terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay, it's pretty standard JRPG turn-based fun, but the innovation comes in the way of random encounters. In Fantasia, these random encounters can be stashed into a dimension so you can explore freely and fight them all at once when the dimension fills up. I love this and feel like I can't go back to the old way of encounters ever again. I mean, this absolutely should be the standard for random encounters going forward. By blending nostalgia with fresh ideas, Fantasia Neo Dimension offers an unforgettable experience that caters to those looking for a new JRPG with a really old school feel. I can't recommend this one enough. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is easily one of the best games of the year, and since it was released at the beginning of the year, I think a lot of people won't remember just how incredible this game actually was. It had everything that made a Yakuza game great, but featured my favorite cast in the series by far. Ichiban and his crew are amazing and had me laughing all the way to the finish line. Infinite Wealth has a more dynamic combat system than the first game, building on the turn-based mechanics introduced in Like a Dragon. The game refines the formula by integrating these real-time elements to it. You can seamlessly switch between the characters, utilizing unique job classes and abilities to exploit enemy weaknesses. There's also a much heavier emphasis on positioning to make the turn-based system feel more like action-oriented. Outside of combat, the game rewards exploration with side quests, hidden secrets, and mini-games that are intricately tied to the world. This is what Yakuza is all about, and none of the games in the series do it better than Infinite Wealth in my opinion. This Animal Crossing style resort management sim could have been the entire game and I would have been happy. It's incredible what they've done here, and this kind of stuff got me hooked in and kept me coming back over and over again. Infinite Wealth is an experience that showcases the best of what modern JRPGs can offer. Its story, gameplay, and detailed open world make it a must-play for fans of the genre. Whether you're drawn in by the humor like myself, the drama, or the sheer variety of activities, Infinite Wealth ensures every moment is super memorable. I love this game, and it's a must-play this year for sure. Unicorn Overlord is such an incredible game. It's hard to think of a tactics game I enjoyed more than this one. Recently, Triangle Strategy comes to mind, but I just don't think it reached the highs of gameplay-wise that Unicorn Overlord did. Outside of some Fire Emblem games, this may be my favorite tactics game of all time. It's truly incredible in just about every way. At the core of Unicorn Overlord is its tactical battle system. The game combines traditional turn-based strategy with modern mechanics, creating a combat experience that is both accessible and just so incredibly rewarding. You command squads of heroes across grid-based battlefields where positioning, resource management, and strategic foresight are keys to your victory. Many people have issues with not controlling units during the combat sequences, but this game is all about managing your units, and preparation is definitely key to your success. What sets this game apart is the level of customization and your variety in combat. You can recruit and train a diverse cast of characters, each with unique abilities and roles, The game encourages experimentation, allowing you to develop your own strategies and adapt to different challenges. Unicorn Overlord is a great example of innovation and creativity in game design. By combining stunning visuals, engaging tactical combat, and a really detailed world, it delivers an experience that appeals to both fans of more classic RPGs and newcomers to the genre as well. Its ability to balance the depth and accessibility is honestly super impressive. It's easily one of the best games to release this year. Definitely pick this one up if you missed out on it. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is a true classic in a modern coat of paint that is incredible in just about every conceivable way. I love how true it stayed to the original. It's so nice to have such an old school representation of JRPGs in a new art style that looks absolutely stunning. The remake features an amazing modern presentation that retains the charm of the original while elevating it with the HD 2D art style that I've always been a huge fan of. If you've been following my channel for a while now, then you know how much I adore games like Octopath Traveler or Live Alive or Triangle Strategy, among many others. This art style is really great, and I'll take as many of these games as they'll give us. Grinding is definitely a main staple of this game, and you will be doing a ton of it. If there's one thing keeping this game from feeling more modern, it's this, but as someone who grew up on these games, I loved it, and it was just this very chill experience for me. Something I could sit down with and chip away at leveling. It's really nice to do, but I can see how some people may not be accustomed to it or may feel like it may be tedious, but I would recommend to give this a chance. I think if you allow yourself to get sucked into this game, then you won't be able to put it down. Dragon Quest III is easily the best modern classic JRPG that you can play right now, and I actually have a huge surprise for you all. I'm doing a giveaway right here for a copy of Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake on Steam. Shout out to Square Enix for giving me the opportunity to give a lucky member of my community the chance to win a copy of one of my favorite games of the year. All you need to do is leave a comment on the video letting me know why you'd like to win the game. A winner will be chosen before December 18th, so it's a nice little holiday gift to a member of the community. At the number 3 spot is a fitting entry, and that's Persona 3 Reload. If you've been around my channel for a while, then you have heard me sing the praises of this game all year. I love Persona, and 3 has perhaps the best story in the series, I think, so getting this remade was really great. I like what they did here, and the playthrough of this game was some of the most fun I've had in 2024. In fact, I just did my PlayStation wrap-up, and Persona 3 Reload was the #1 game I played this year. The upgrades here felt significant, and with all the modern bells and whistles that came with Persona 5 Royal, it was nice to play Persona 3 in a similar format. Tartarus was one of my huge issues with the original. I like how they changed up the different sections in this one. Still nowhere near as cool as the different palaces in 5, but the story and characters in 3 more than make up for it. The story explores some really dark stuff. The game follows a group of high school students who awaken to the power of personas and are thrown into a battle against shadows during the Dark Hour, which is this hidden time that exists between one day and the next. Persona 3 Reload is more than just a basic remake or remaster to me. It's a celebration of a game that has always been one of my favorites. By combining a deep and emotional story with more modernized gameplay and visuals, it offers a really refreshing experience. If you haven't played Persona 3 and you enjoyed Persona 5, or even if you haven't played a Persona yet at all, then I would highly recommend this game. Now we are getting into the top 2, and here's where it gets really tough for me because I go back and forth between these two almost every single day, which one would be my game of the year, but I'm putting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the #2 spot. This game is going to go down as one of my all-time favorite games. I will be having this in my top 5 list for years and years to come, and it's going to take something really crazy to kick it off. I really loved Rebirth. The story was great. The gameplay is so addictive and fun. I really love what the remakes are doing with this blend of turn-based and action-focused combat, and it really is just overall so impressive. One of the most exciting features of Rebirth is its open area design. Moving beyond the limitations of Midgar, the game allows you to explore a lot of different open areas with a ton of stuff to find and side activities to do. The world feels alive, and I had a lot of fun with some of the optional bosses. The one downside, though, could be the storyline because it can get convoluted and steer off the beaten path a bit, but I actually really enjoyed it. It is kind of a downside also that you have to play the remake first because they are so interconnected, you're going to have no idea what's going on if you don't. There's a lot to love here, though, in terms of the story and character development, and as the story progresses, you will dive deeper into the relationships between Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, and the rest of the party. New character arcs added emotional weight to everything. The overall structure of the story, like I said, it could be a bit confusing, but it was something that didn't bother me all that much, and by the end of it, I was really happy with what they did here. One thing I got absolutely hooked on, though, I want to mention is this Queen's Blood card game. Like, this had me sitting down for long play sessions, completely hooked. This definitely contributed to a large portion of my gameplay time, and I have no issues with that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is definitely one of the best JRPGs out there. It's a must play. Don't miss this one. Finally, at the #1 spot, I have Metaphor ReFantazio. I absolutely love Metaphor. I love the fantasy setting. I love the characters, the art style. Everything really comes together to make for one of the best JRPGs that I've ever played. I still prefer Persona to Metaphor, and I draw this comparison simply because Metaphor mechanically is so close to Persona that I could see this game being passed off as Persona 6 if I'm being honest. There's just a few elements here that I think could have been perfected in terms of the pacing and the side quests. Otherwise, this game is nearly perfect and hits just about everything I want in a great JRPG. Metaphor ReFantazio's real strength is its story that dives into some really complex themes that will have you filled with questions as you approach the end. The narrative really resonated with me in ways I didn't expect it to. The game's focus on choices and consequences ensures that each playthrough will feel unique, adding layers of depth and replayability to it. Not to mention the conversations I was able to have with friends of mine that were also playing the game. Its story has a lot to it, and I really enjoyed it. In fact, I kind of want to play through it again already. It's full of twists and unexpected turns that had me on the edge of my seat for my entire playthrough. Usually I play a game alongside a long game like Metaphor to kind of shake things up when I feel like I want to play something different. But this is the only thing I played for a really long time. Metaphor is great and easily one of the best games of the year. The turn-based combat is incredibly fun, the class system is deep and extremely customizable, and therefore the moment-to-moment gameplay is genuinely great. While Metaphor ReFantazio draws inspiration from Persona and SMT, it introduces fresh gameplay systems that distinguish it from both those games. The combat system emphasizes strategy, synergy, customization. You will assemble a really diverse party of characters, each with unique abilities and roles, encouraging a ton of experimentation and tactical planning. Metaphor is just a great game through and through, and that's why it's my game of the year. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments below what your favorite games of the year are. I think this has easily been one of the greatest years of JRPGs that I can remember. I can't wait to see what's in store for us next year. Before we sign off, I'd like to ask that if you enjoy my content and want to see more great videos about JRPGs like this one, then be sure to subscribe. I'm almost to 10,000 subs here, and I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you, so thank you so much. It would be absolutely incredible to hit that milestone before the end of the year. So with all that said, I appreciate you all, and until next time, I'm out.